Today is November 11th. Today's quote is entitled, "The Stamp of False Ego." Everything we see, we put our stamp on. If we are Krishna conscious, we carry the stamp that says, "This belongs to Krishna." If we are in material consciousness, we carry the stamp that says, "This belongs to me." So what does this mean? So imagine you have a stamp, and the stamp says, "This is mine." And everywhere you go in the world, whatever it is that you want, you put the stamp on. And the stamp that "this is mine" could also mean, I want this to be mine, or I'm going to work to get this to be mine, or my dream is that this will be mine. And so that basically explains what false ego is, or material consciousness. It's that we have this stamp that everything we see, we put our stamp on it. This is mine. Or, wow, that's a beautiful car. I'd like to have it. And look at that house. That's beautiful. I'd love to have a house like that someday. And we even do that when we see other people. Maybe somebody is more beautiful than we are. Oh, I'd love to have a body like that. So indirectly, that's a stamp. I like to claim that as mine. The house, the car, the body. And of course, we do this with so many things. We go into a store, maybe we can't afford something, but we think, I'd love to have that someday. I would like to get that. So it's potentially mine, or I already own it, and then I stamp it as mine. That's called false ego. So what is real ego? The stamp that this belongs to Krishna. So then everything we see, we put our stamp on it. This is Krishna's, and I will use it in Krishna's service. Now, one time Prabhupada said, everything is Maya. So it's one way of seeing everything. But everything is Maya, and then we just add Krishna, and it's no longer Maya. Okay, so Maya then just becomes a vision. It just becomes a stamp. So if you're saying everything is Maya, that means you're putting your stamp of Maya on everything, that everything is for me. If you're saying everything is Krishna, that means you're putting the stamp that this is Krishna's, it's not mine. So then there's no false ego. So this is how false ego works. False ego identifies. It claims something, it claims to own something which it doesn't own, just like the body. Well, this is my body, but actually, it's not my body. I can't keep it. I didn't make it. I don't really own it. Krishna's giving me this body because of my karma, and so I have this body for a certain number of years. It's really on loan. I don't own it. So if I put my stamp on it, this is me, that's called false ego. If I put my stamp on my body, on my forehead, this body belongs to Krishna, that's real ego. So even right down to something so subtle as our own body, which we would naturally claim to be ours, it isn't ours. So this is how false ego works. So you can observe yourself. What stamp are you putting on everything? This is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Or the other stamp, this is Krishna's. And if you see everything is Krishna's, that means you have spiritual vision. You're not seeing anything materially. Like in the second canto, Krishna says, Maya is just seeing something separate from me. That's the stamp, this is mine. As soon as you put on the stamp, this is mine. On the same object, it now becomes different. It's the same object, but your vision is different. So your vision makes it material. So now I see this as material. Now what's so interesting about this is that if we want to offer something to Krishna, we cannot offer anything material. And what would it mean to be offering something material? If everything in this world is material, then how can you say we can't offer something material to Krishna? Because, as I said, material means the consciousness. So if you see something enjoyable for yourself, that means you've already enjoyed it and you can't offer it to Krishna because now you've seen it in relation to your own enjoyment, which means it's material. So just like when we prepare food, we don't taste it, because if we do, then we're the first to enjoy it, and it's not offerable to Krishna. We can only offer what is spiritual. So the perfection of our life is to put that stamp, this belongs to Krishna, on everything, and Krishna enjoys everything. it's a practice in the beginning of bhakti, and it's natural and spontaneous later. That's the only way you will see things, because you love Krishna, and you couldn't see anything separately from him. But philosophically, we have to begin understanding it, and we want to retire that stamp, this is mine, and we want to just have the stamp that says, this is Krishna's, and then there's no false ego. But the stamp, this is mine, that's false ego. And so that's a simple way to understand how false ego operates. Whenever you pull that stamp out, this is mine, or I want it to be mine, you've just separated from Krishna, you now are associating it with yourself, and that's material. Simple, but it's very deep.